Yo, what's going on, everybody? This is Dylan Talk Sports. My name is Dylan. In today's video, what we're going to be doing is we're going to talk about the University of Miami, college football in general, and is the U back? Over the past decade, I would say about like the past 10, 20, maybe even 30 years, we've always talked about Miami University, about are they back? They had a great national championship run back in the day, 2001. Everybody was like, oh my God, this team is like probably the best college football team to ever live. 2019 LSU eventually came along though. And over, like I said, the past decades, this team has been ups, they've had their downs, they've been in some bowl games, they've had some success, they've had a lot of non-success. And every year they're always ranked, whether it be in the top 10, top 15, top 20, at least top 25. They're most of the time always ranked. But usually by about week 6, week 7, they're already out of the AP poll. They're like 2-2, 3-3. They're not doing anything great for that season. And so far, the 2024 season, their first game was against the Florida Gators. Everybody knows Florida Gators, they're an SEC team, so they're going to get some respect there. But now, Miami went in there and they kicked the ever-living shit out of them. And now it's almost like there's two things coming out of it. One is, well, Florida wasn't really that good this year. They're not going to be good. And the other part is, Miami might be back. So real quick, to kind of start the video, I'm going to kind of explain why I feel like these people that are hating on Miami of Florida being like this bad team, I'm going to go and squash that straight away. And then I kind of want to take up the bulk of the video of discussing, is Miami back? Because like I said, they got a great team. Cam Ward, the quarterback, coming to transfer from Washington State. He's going to be a dog for them. They got good skill position players. I think the coaching with Mario Cristobal, he's a great coach for them. They got a good defense. They got a lot of great pieces all around. And also, the schedule they have, they could go far this season. Now, as always, all information you're going to be seeing on screen whenever it comes to articles, web pages, stuff like that I'm going to be putting up on screen. I'll have links to it all down in the description below, so if you want to go check it out for yourself, feel free. But I'm going to go and get straight into this. If you're going to enjoy it, as always, make sure you're going to drop a like on today's video. Be very much appreciated if you do so. But without further ado, let's get into it. Okay, now starting off, we're going to discuss the game that happened. Like I said, Miami, Florida, 41-17. This was a good game for Miami fans. For Florida fans, it started out like you thought maybe you could have a game here. In the second quarter, it was 17-10, and I was thinking to myself, this could be a pretty good game. And then it was like straight away, just Miami just took over. There's a lot of people out there that are saying like Miami just kicked the living shit out of Florida. In the second half, yes. In the first half, Florida hung around. Like when I hear the terms, you got the ever-living shit kicked out of you, I think of like 35-0, 42-0, 42-3 at halftime. This was only 24-10 at halftime. Another thing to kind of finish up the argument of that, people were trying to say, well, Florida's not that good, who cares? They just got their ass kicked. Miami probably going to lose a game here eventually in the next few weeks. If Florida would have won this game, everybody would have been saying, SEC's king. Florida was better. They're the SEC. They'd never lose these games. It's like when a lower tier SEC team loses a game to like one of these like schools that are trying to get up in the top programs or trying to like become somebody again. Everybody wants to say like, well, they were a low tier team. Nobody cares about them. They're not true SEC team. But if they would have won, it'd be like, it's SEC. You can't beat an SEC team. SEC's king. I just kind of want to go ahead and squash that. And like I said, give my flowers to Miami. Now, like I said, I'll have a link to this article down in the description below. It's from CBS Sports, and it kind of goes on to talk about why Miami could possibly, like I said, be back. They kind of go in and talk about the game, go in depth about what went right for them in this game. Like I said, Cam Ward being the transfer quarterback, he did really good. He was balling out there. He's a great playmaker. He can scramble. He does have a little bit of a, I wouldn't say a problem, but they did say it on the telecast, and I believe Booker McFarland on the post-game press conference or whatever, post-game show, whatever it was with ABC, he was kind of talking about Cam Ward, saying the offensive line does need to get better. I will agree on that. The offensive line needs to get better, give him cleaner pockets. Him just scrambling around, running around, that's not going to fly much longer. If he's going to just rely on that to be his whole offense, and he can't just stay in the pocket and throw the ball without his offensive line just getting pushed over, there's going to be some problems. Now, one thing I will say about Cam Ward, he is a very underrated Heisman Trophy finalist award winner possible. Because when I watch him play, like I said, he needs to get better offensive line, but the way he is a playmaker, he could very easily be a Heisman finalist. Like I said with Cam Ward, the great quarterback, they also have great coaching. Cristobal, he's going into, I believe they said his third year or whatever, with Miami. So he's due for a big time season with Miami. It's like you've had a couple years to build. You built your team. Now you got to go out there and prove it. They also say here they have one of the most priciest rosters out there. So they're spending big money on these recruits, these transfers, these players to go out there and help Miami win. Now, like I said with Miami, when you look at their schedule, I have the schedule pulled up right here from ESPN.com. They actually have, not gonna lie, a very, very favorable schedule. They already won the game against Florida, like I said, at Florida. Next up, they got Florida A&M very easily. Ball State very easy. They can easily win these games by 30 to 40 points plus. At South Florida could be a sleeper game. Who knows? Alabama struggled last year against them, but I think they could take care of business there. I think if anything, looking down this schedule, the games they might honestly struggle a little bit at, Florida State might not be a struggle fest. I think the games they need to look out for is at Syracuse and possibly at Louisville. Those are the games they might need to worry about. Maybe Virginia Tech could possibly be a struggle fest, like a trap game that Virginia Tech comes in there and Miami is just not expecting them to even put up a fight and they just kick their asses. But when I look up and then down the schedule, I'm being serious. Syracuse might be a game we need to look out for, and Miami might be just walking their way straight to an ACC championship game. Because if you look at this schedule, like I said, already got 1 win. Let's say 2 wins, 3 wins, 4 wins. Let's say Virginia Tech doesn't put up a fight and they win that game. You're already 5-0. You go to California. I don't think California's going to be much this year. You go 6-0. You're already 6-0. You could easily be ranked in the top 10 at that point. If you could beat Louisville, right there 7-0. Florida State, that could be like your only challenge. And who knows what Georgia Tech's going to be after they beat Florida State. You very easily could be walking your way. Just stroll it along right to an ACC title game. And I think in the Hurricanes' minds, in order for them, like I said, to be back, all they got to do is make the playoff. And with a 12-team playoff, it should be very easy to make the playoffs this year, because if you have a schedule, like I said, like this, all you got to do, get through this schedule with maybe the 1 loss. If you lose 1 game in here, let's say you lose to Florida State, or you lose to Georgia Tech, or Syracuse, you lose a game in there, but then you win your conference, boom, you're already top 4. Or even if you don't win your conference and you maybe lose 2 games, you could probably still get in as like an 11 or 12 team. Now, one more little thing I kind of wanted to explain. When I look at Miami University, this might be a hot take, but when I watch them play, I would almost describe them as like this year's version, or like a newer version of what we saw Tennessee a few years ago when they had Hendon Hooker and they were just balling out and they beat Alabama. Because everybody remembers that Tennessee team. They were really good. They had a high playmaking quarterback. They had a lot of good receivers. They could make plays. They had a Heisman finalist with Hendon Hooker. He didn't end up being a finalist, but he looked like it for damn sure from the beginning of the season. Defense was suspect, and that's kind of what I would say about Miami right now. Their defense is a little bit suspect. They played against a questionable Florida offense. We'll see more about Miami as the season goes on. But I'm going to be straight with you. I think Miami is going to be a good team this year. They can easily, like I said, get into the playoffs this year. Even if it's not as an ACC title team, they will get in there as a selection bid, like whether it be 10, 11, 12. They're going to be in the playoffs. And I'll go as far as say this. They might win a game in the playoffs. Now, are they going to be as good as the 2001 national championship team? Hell no, that ain't going to fucking happen. That team is still up there, like I said, with the 2019 LSU team as some of the greatest college football teams we've ever seen. For all the Miami fans that might be a little bit nervous, questionable about their team this year, relax, calm down. You're going to have a great season this year. I'm going to tell you that now. You're going to have a really good season this year. But other than that, I think I'm going to wrap it up there. Hopefully, you guys did go and enjoy today's video. If you did enjoy it, as always, make sure you go and drop a like on today's video. Be very much appreciated. So if you wanted to watch the entirety of today's video, thank you very much. And like I said, if you have a different opinion, do you agree or disagree with anything I said? Do you think that Miami is back, is not back? What do you think about their play against Florida? Do you think it kind of proves that they could possibly be a top 10 possible team this season, not a possible top 10 team? Whatever your opinion may be whenever it comes to Miami University football team, leave a clear opinion down in the comment section down below. I'm more welcome to talk about with you guys. If you're a fan of the content that I do post here and you want to go and hit that big red subscribe button, feel free to do so. And do not forget to hit that little notification bell to be notified so I can post. But without further ado, this has been Dylan Talk Sports. Have a great day. Peace.